This is my contest entry for PaducahFishFan's contest, sponsored by Cobalt Aquatics. And for the contest, I've decided to enter my 29-gallon Planet Aquarium into the amateur bracket. I do meet the student qualification for that, plus this is a more low-tech tank. I'm not running any CO2. So although I usually don't enter into contests, I decided to enter into his because he's been an inspiration in a few of the things I've done in this aquarium. I actually mentioned him in my last video, so if you watch that one, this is the same YouTuber who I have mimicked in my substrate here. I mimicked his design in the 120, which was the dirt, fluorite, and black sand layer substrate that I'm currently using in here. And the plants I have tend to be more on the low-tech side, although I've done a few upgrades, gotten a few nicer plants that I'm really liking, including this beautiful area of Camboba on the right. I've got both the red and green, and you can see some of the light green up there on both the Camboba and the Rotala next to it. A lot of new growth. And then along the back I have a Queen Radican and a couple of red Reuben swords, and those have just grown so quickly. I can't believe it. I haven't had them for too long, and they started off just a couple inches off the ground, and now they've got to be up to about 8 inches on some of the taller leaves. Now, because I just recently made the change, a couple of the plants like the Vals and my Crypts are really pouting about the changeover, so they lost some of their leaves, as Crypts tend to do. But I have some tall Crypts in the back as well. And then another sword to the left there, some wisteria in the back as well. Then in the front I have some micro sword, I have some dwarf sage, some anubias, and then some pieces of driftwood for hardscape. I did do a little bit of white sand in the front there with that branching piece of driftwood and bordered that with some rocks just to create a more foreground effect there. And then in terms of the mechanics of the tank, I already talked about the substrate, and for lighting I'm using a 65-watt Coralie fixture in addition to a 55-watt pendant that hangs above the aquarium, and pretty basic filtration just to hang on the back AquaClear filter. And then in addition I have a little fluval running in there to pump some water around and provide some extra sponge filtration for the tank. I have a school of 5 rasboras, some silver hatchetfish on top. For the cleanup crew, a couple of autocats, coolie loach, 3 lemon tetras in addition to the rasboras for the middle ground there, and then a couple of kind of stray fish, I call them, 2 zebradanios and a red serpe tetra that have just made their way into this tank after some of their friends passed away. So I haven't been focusing as much on the fish as I have on the plants, because I did just redo this tank with some new additions and the new and different substrate. So I'm really happy with the way this has turned out, and I'm thankful to Paducah for sponsoring the contest. So.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance, neath the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance, neath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the